Hello everyone, it is August 6th and it's Wednesday and it's hot here. Really hot. Now, I know some of you have had hot weather already, but August and September are really hot months, and usually the first week of September it can get over 110, kind of like Phoenix. So yeah, that's coming. And to make matters a little more difficult today, we found out that our area and a couple of neighboring towns, how do I say this? I guess there was a break in the water main or something, and so like 10,000 people of our neighbors didn't have water today, and they don't expect to have it fixed until Friday. Now where I live, we still have water pressure. We still have some water, but I've been very nervous about like using the hose to water outside, and believe me, when it's 90 degrees the plants need water. So I had a couple of cases of water outside. They've been there for like 3 years. I wasn't going to bring them in and drink them after 3 years, but I just opened up those cases and used a lot of plastic bottles to water the plants. Not everybody got watered. I mean, I did water yesterday with the hose, so I think some of the trees will be okay for a day or so. And then we just got the message to boil our water. So that's why you should always have bottled water on hand. Yeah, bottled water. So, well, I don't drink out of the tap anyways, but I make my coffee with tap water. So I did that earlier today before I found out anything. Anyways, I'm fine. I don't feel any giardia or anything. So let's talk about what I've been doing for the last few weeks. Actually, I think it would be better if I just showed you what I've been doing. Well, I just wanted to film this little bit before I sent these off. Now, back at the end of May, my niece sent me a pattern and asked me if I could make it. And she had seen either the same thing or something very similar in some sort of market, like oh, you know, where different vendors set up stalls, you know, and they sell their goods. Anyways, I think that's where she had seen something like this. So she sent me, well, first she said, could you make me something like that? And I said, well, you know, find me the pattern or find one similar to it, and I'll do it. Because I didn't feel like searching through zillions of patterns looking for something that might be right. So I put that onus on her. You find the pattern. And she did. She bought it and she sent me the pattern. So I needed to make 2 of them for her. And she sent me the color she wanted, but honestly I can't find that email anywhere. But I know one of them was to be sage green. And I had, well, I didn't have sage green. So I had to go out and buy that and the color for the other one, which I'm not even sure I got that right, but she'll love it anyways. But I had a whole skein of Bernat blanket in each color. Now let me tell you, and I'm going to link the pattern below, but one skein is like kind of enough, kind of. So like for the first one, this is all I had left. Just this little, there's just a few yards in here. I was playing yarn chicken really bad. Now the second one, I was playing yarn chicken again, and I lost. But the first one I didn't lose. So let me just show you what I made. Let me see if I can get the whole thing in the camera. Okay, these are loveys. They're dragon loveys. And the middle part is not stuffed. Let's see. So this one, like I said, I did have enough yarn, barely, but my advice would be, if you're going to make this pattern, that maybe you should make sure you have 2 skeins of that yarn, just in case. So the second one, I had a full skein, and I ran out. But I wasn't going to go buy another skein just for those like 2 or 3 yards that I was missing. So I will show you what I did. Okay, so here's this one. This is in royal blue. This is brunette. And he's got yellow scales. So only the head and the tail are stuffed. And the legs are knotted. Okay, so this is what I did. Whoops. So that's as much as I was missing of the royal blue. But I had a yarn that had 4 different shades of blue in it, including royal blue. And that's what I did. So he just has one special foot, this one. Anyways, these are going to some little great nephews. And I just wanted to say, again, if you make this pattern, you might want to make sure you have 2 skeins of the main body color, because you're going to feel like you're playing yarn chicken right at the end. So these are going into the mail tomorrow, and hopefully they'll get to their destination by the weekend. So since my last video, I have made 2 hats. This is one of them, and it's made with the leftover yarn from the Caron Simply Soft. This is the Wisteria and Antique. Let me get a little closer on the colors. You honestly cannot tell where one begins and the other ends. Needless to say, I did not have enough of either to do a whole hat, so that's why there's white in there. So let me show you the other hat. This is the hat that is made with the leftover honeycomb and sienna. And I did not have enough of that to do a whole hat. So I mixed in the yellow and some brown at the end, but honestly, they just look like they fit. So I have used up all of that variegated. Now I just have 3 hats left to make in variegated. I got these 3 hats out of the Caron Simply Soft in the variegated called Abyss. Now, as you can see with the 3rd hat, I didn't have enough, so I put in another Caron Simply Soft, just this plain blue. But yeah, you can get out of 2 skeins about 2.5 hats, and then with the 3rd one you've got to combine something else. But these are being donated on July 3rd. This hat is from a Red Heart Super Saver variegated called Mulberry Mix. And I had 2 skeins of it, although one of the skeins was not quite full. So I got that hat. I still have pretty much, well, I had to use part of it, but I should still be able to get another hat out of this one. So then those will get donated. So these are the hats I have been working on. And I have used up all of the Big Twist Rave yarn that I had bought earlier in the spring. And so this one here is the Super Beach, which has the orange and the pink. This one is the lava lamp. This one back here, this green, is electric slime. And this one here is electric citrus. So, let's see, I have 9 and 9 is 18, and 10 here is 28, and 4 is 32. So these here, this is how much of a hat you can get out of one skein of, you can see there you go, one skein of Big Twist Vortex using a 5.5 millimeter. So I get almost all the way done, and then I do the brim in something different. And so here you can see with this one, same thing happened. But you can get really, really close. And this one I didn't even get as close because I had to put some brown in there. But, so then let me tell you about these pom-poms. Now some I made and some I purchased. So a lot of these that are this color here, it's supposed to be yellow. It's a very orangey yellow. But I bought from China. Well, I bought it through Amazon. I didn't realize they were coming from China. I should have realized that. But I thought I was getting multicolors, and I ended up buying 3 dozen orange. Not really my thing, but I did buy 1 pack of 12 that had multicolors, because I'm not real crazy about making pom-poms, although I have made some. So, let's see, like this one here, that one I made. And then, but then, you know, I thought I was all done with all my Vortex, all my Rave yarn, which I was, and I was all done basically with hats. And then I found this one skein that I thought I had already used all of it up, but I hadn't, and it was a Craft Smart fleck yarn. And so I ended up, let's see, I had this one here, and I knew, and those skeins were smaller, so I knew I didn't have enough to make even as much as with the Vortex. And then this one here, and this is that dark gray, this dark gray, and the yellow is, what was it called? Oh, Safety Yellow, which is a Big Twist. And I made the pom-pom in the Safety Yellow. So, those hats, well, what? There's 34 hats there. They have kept me busy for the last several weeks. And now I still have these packages of pom-poms. But I'm kind of done with hats for a while. I used up all of the yarn that I had bought specifically for making hats. So I feel really good about that, and now it's time to distribute them. Well, so all in all, I have made, I think, 130 hats. And keep in mind that each hat has over 1,500 stitches. And I don't know if I'm a slow crocheter or a fast crocheter. Sometimes I feel like I'm fast, and then I see other people crocheting and I'm like, oh man, I am really slow. But it takes me 3 to 4 hours to make one of those. And I can do 2 in a day, but that's really hard on my eyes to do that much. So I try to just do 1 a day. But I'm not doing any more for a while because I don't have any more yarn that I want for hats. So I feel like I've done my duty with that. I've given 100 to a church down the street. Well, actually just 80, but I've got another 20 for her. and I've distributed others in other places. So yeah, that's it for me and hats for a while. I think I have done my duty. I forgot to update you on the butterflies. Well, I had 33 chrysalises and 2 outside, so it was a 35 total. And it got to the point where, well, I had the 33 inside, and I thought, boy, if they start hatching in the middle of the night, it's going to drive the cats crazy, and they'll tip the thing over, and, you know, it's just not a good thing. So I put the container outside. Then they started hatching. And so I'm going to show you a picture right here of the first one that hatched. Now this one had a broken wing. So I ended up having to euthanize it. But I had 17 successful hatches from the container, and then the 2 that were outside hatched. So that was a total of 19. Now, some of them partially hatched and could not completely escape the chrysalis. So there's nothing you can do. You can't help them. There's nothing you can do. So I ended up having to euthanize some of those. And then some hatched and they had deformed wings. And so I'll put a picture of that right here. And there's nothing you can do for them, so had to euthanize those. And then there were some that just never hatched. So I don't know if that's like average, or it's better than just leaving it to nature, because all of those wouldn't have survived if I hadn't rescued them, so to speak. So anyhow, I just wanted to update you on the butterflies. Right now it's way too hot for the caterpillars to survive, so I'm not really seeing any. I did a couple of weeks ago see a very tiny one, but I haven't seen any since. It's too hot. In fact, I had this one caterpillar that crawled up the fence wall and was in a J shape, which is the shape they get into right before they do their chrysalis, and it just fried in the heat. That it never went further, it just died. So that is my butterfly stuff for this year, I guess. More next year. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week. And I think my next video is going to be about some books I've been acquiring lately and why I am such a book snob. And you'll find out what that means to me to be a book snob. And I hope you tune in for my next video. And who knows, maybe the books that I'm currently reading through will interest you and you'll go out and get them as well. Or get them from your library or read them online. Whatever works for you is great. So I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.